My victim was Terry Schiavo. I don't know if, I think most of you probably remember that case, but it was shocking to me. I mean, President Bush took him days to leave Crawford, Texas to fly and see the poor victims of Katrina standing on top of those buildings surrounded, by the flooding waters. But in the middle of the night, he flew back to Congress to sign a bill that would have the federal government intervene in what is the most private and personal decision any family can go through. And I thought it was wrong. And it was Senator Lieberman who sat there on the Tim Russert show and said, of course the federal government's got to intervene. It's a question of life and death. That's the last place you want the federal government to go. And we have a federal government that's intervening more and more into our private lives. I see it in terms of the illegal wiretaps. I see it in terms of Judge Alito. Judge Alito is going to fundamentally tilt the balance of the Supreme Court for the next generation. I think it's serious. Look at the bill coming out of South Dakota right now. That's a bill that will outlaw a woman's right to choose, even in the case of rape and incest. Lowell Weicker would have stood up to the nomination of Judge Alito, and so would I. My hero, because I want to leave you on an upbeat note if I can, but my hero is, I think, somebody who follows in the mold of Lowell Weicker, somebody who stands tall and speaks boldly about what he believes, and that was Congressman Jack Murtha. Congressman Murtha. Congressman Murtha is a decorated war hero. He from Vietnam era, congressman from Pennsylvania, and the Democrats were having a hard time figuring out how to say, how to position, and what to do on the war in Iraq. And it was Congressman Murtha who stood up and said, stay the course is not a winning strategy. We have to change course. That's our best hope for a stable and potentially successful outcome. I'm so proud that it was Congressman Murtha who stood up and said that, and finally, at long last, gave the Democrats voice. And it was Senator Lieberman who said those who critique this president undermine the credibility of President Bush. He wrote in the piece in the Wall Street Journal entitled "The Troops Must Stay," and I think he was wrong. I think Congressman Murtha was right. We've got to stand up. We've got to challenge this administration. We've got to stand up and speak tall when we think our administration is doing wrong. In the case of the war in Iraq, they're doing wrong, and there is a better way. And the war is not a single issue. The war says so much about this country. Tell the Gold Star moms who've lost a kid in Iraq, and tell the Blue Star moms who have somebody there fighting that this is just a single issue. Go around the state and talk to the college kids. It's great. The college kids are energized again. And they really believe passionately. They believe this war is wrong. They believe this war is wrong because it says so much about what type of a country we are. Abu Ghraib, Haditha, Guantanamo. What does this say about our values? What does this say about what we believe? We're a much stronger country when we're true to our values. The college kids out there understand it, and I understand it too, and that's a message I'm going to take to Washington, D.C. And don't call them a bunch of weirdos. Go along the Memorial Day parade in this state. Everywhere I went, it was veterans. It was veterans who were standing up, reaching out and saying, look, our troops have done everything you would ever ask of them, and more. And now we got 132,000 troops stuck in the middle of a bloody civil war. It's time to bring our troops home to the hero's welcome that they deserve. Finally, as you go around the state, you talk to the workers at Sikorsky who are on strike due to paying more and more for health care and getting less and less coverage. You talk to the teachers down at Harding High and Bridgeport High where I teach my classes, and they all ask the same question in a different way. How come we can afford to spend $250 million a day, $250 million a day in Iraq, and we can't afford universal health care for each and every American? We can't afford to invest in clean energy. We can't afford to keep Harding High open past 3 o'clock in the afternoon so those kids don't go home to an empty household. We can do better than that. Our priorities are wrong, and I'm going to set our priorities right. Look, this is an old-fashioned kitchen table debate. And this is just an old-fashioned grassroots campaign. We've had over 10,000 people come to our website, sign up, volunteers, folks like you, folks in 169 towns across this state. They care deeply that we change course, that we can do better. I think they want somebody who's going to stand up to the Bush administration where they're wrong. That's what I'm going to do. They want somebody to stand up for Connecticut, stand up for our values, and stand up for what makes this country great. My name is Ned Lamont, and I approve this message. Thank you.